Hi everyone, it's Monday, February 3rd. This is a little rushed because I have quite a bit to do. I have some Shakespeare to read and some statistics to study for, and some abnormal psychology to also do homework for. I have a lot. I constantly have a lot to do. But you're accustomed. You also have busy lives. You understand me. Very swift update on what I've done, and that's nothing. Basically nothing. I've edited another chapter, but it's very slow going on my end. So, last week I talked about another way to approach plotting, so this week I would like to talk about another way to approach characterization. I want to encourage you to look at your stories and your tendencies for writing and look for patterns. Like, do you tend to write about people from a certain economic group or from a certain ethnicity or with a certain sexual orientation or certain body type or a certain cultural identity? In my psychology class recently, we discussed the things that make up social identity. It got me really thinking about the way those things impact character development. And I want to encourage you to resist homogeny, I believe that's the word, in your writing. And it's an easy trap to fall into. You can get very comfortable with your own worldview or one that you're familiar with and neglect to branch out and consider other things. So, especially in terms of characterizations, because characters fundamentally drive plot. I don't care if you have a story-driven plot or a character-driven plot. Plot is nothing without the characters. So, it's very important that that when you consider the people driving your stories, that you consider where they came from, where they're going, and how that would affect the storytelling and the world building. I'm not telling you to throw in a token black person or an Asian friend who dies before the end, because they tend to, unfortunately, especially in fantasy. But I just mention it because it's one of those things that people aren't often aware of. They get stuck in the track of their own life experiences and neglect to do the research to tell other kinds of stories. And it's not out of negligence or malice or really anything conscious. It's just, that's what your brain works. You get stuck in patterns. So I would encourage you to be aware of the ways you're writing, and especially with your characters. So I know many of you are starting up new projects around this time, because it's the beginning of a new month, and unlike me, most of you are actually productive and good at your jobs, and I'm not. So my hair, that did not fix the status of my hair whatsoever. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say to you. Definitely just take your character's social identity very, very seriously. And, if anything, trying to write a new sort of character than you've ever written before will give you the chance to grow as well, because you have to research their background. You can learn more about a type of people you might not have known very much about. Like, I had a side character who's transgender, and I know a couple trans individuals, but I still had to do a lot of research into the psychology of the thing and the culture, and it was very, very interesting. I'm really glad I did it because I think it added some more depth to my story and to their character, but it also benefited me as an individual and a functioning member of this society. So, yeah, I would like you to consider that in your characterization journeys this month and throughout the year and throughout your life. And with that, I'll see you in a week.